Good morning from the farm kitchen. As promised, we are here today to make some bacon. So we have a beautiful side of pork belly from the first pig that we bought from Southern Berkshire Farms, and this thing was a beast. So the hanging weight was about 265 pounds. So this pork belly side alone was about this long an hour ago, weighed about 12, 13 pounds. So I have already trimmed out 3 different sections. You want your sections to get in that, 2.5 to 3 pound range. So we do have the skin still on. So we're gonna leave that on for the curing process. Just gives it a little bit of added stability. So because we are going to end up slicing bacon out of these, we want them to be as uniform as possible so we can get some nice uniform pieces. And don't worry, no pork belly will go to waste. We will turn this into pork belly burnt ends on the Rectech later. All this trim we're cutting off. That is one tough skinned pig. So we'll just save all this trim. Just square off our piece. Square off all of our edges so we get a nice look. Okay, so we have our pork belly, and now we have to cure it. So the curing process requires the introduction of some type of salt product, and typically a sugar product as well. So when you go to the stores and you see bacon that is uncured, it's essentially a piece of pork. So to turn it into bacon, we want to add some salt, some sugar, and then we're going to add curing salt as well. So what we've got here is curing salt, also known as pink salt. Do not mistake this for the pink Himalayan salt. It's a totally different product. This is also called cure number 1. There's 2 types of cures, and it depends on what's in them. This is the nitrate. So when everybody talks about, oh, nitrates are so bad, that's what this is. It's not. It's an extraordinarily minuscule amount that we put in each one of these, and you'll see that as we go on. So to determine how much curing salt and how much regular salt, there's several ways to do it. So you can take a traditional recipe. Most of those ask for, a piece of pork belly, 2 pounds or 3 pounds, or we can weigh it out on our handy dandy kitchen scale. In grams. So this is 930 grams. So the way that I keep track when I'm doing several batches, and they're all different weights, is I just roll a piece of parchment out here and then write all of my weights and measurements on here. So this one is 930 grams. So we go to our equilibrium calculator, and I'll send the link out for that. This is the Digging Dog Farm equilibrium calculator that I use. You put in your weight of your pork, you hit calculate, and then you just kind of follow the directions. So for 930 grams, we need 2 grams of the curing salt, 16 grams of regular salt, and 9 grams of sugar, or some type of sweetener Okay, so we will start making the cures now. So we need to measure out our curing salt and our regular salt. And you can get this curing salt. Sometimes butcher shops will have it. You can definitely get it on Amazon. So cure number 1 is designed for products that cure for less than 2 weeks. Cure number 2 is designed for products like your hams and things that cure for a longer time. So some of your different charcuterie will use what's called cure number 2. Okay, so there it is, folks. That's how much of the curing salt is in there for a 6.25% solution. Now basically this is science. So you have your salt, your curing salt, and you're getting an equilibrium. That's what happens during your curing time. So we're going to cure these for about 10 days. You could do 7 to 10 days. Your thicker pieces you definitely want for that 10-day time period. So we're going to add in here 16 grams of salt. Salts vary greatly as to weight versus volume. So you definitely always want to weigh out your salt when you're doing a cure. All right, so there's our salt and our cure. So we'll put that to the side. Now, once you get your salt and cure weighed and measured, that's the only one that really matters. After that, you are absolutely able to play with whatever kind of flavor combinations, spices, sugars. So whether you're using maple syrup, honey, regular sugar, you can kind of play around with any type of sweetener. Brown sugar, it doesn't really matter. So we have 4 different recipes that we're making here for you today. So the first is kind of a classic flavor. And we'll post all of the actual measurements and things up later today, and the link to the equilibrium calculator. So we've got our salt and our curing salt. And then this is a combination of black pepper, red crushed pepper, and paprika, and some maple syrup. So we just use the Kirkland brand. We're a big Costco family. And this is the easy part. Basically, take your plastic bag, stick your pork belly in, if you have a liquid type ingredient, put that in first. Make sure it gets nice and coated. You can mix up your seasonings and your cure. Sprinkle it in, both sides. Get as much of that air out as possible. And then just make sure that you're getting the whole thing coated. This is going to sit there and it's going to build up a liquid over the next couple days, so all of those seasonings will kind of dissipate across the whole product. And you're going to be flipping this a couple times a day anyway, so it's not crucial that you spend too much time with that. And there you go, there's the first one. So that's our classic recipe. Here, everything is better with roasted garlic is our philosophy. So we don't make any kind of our meat products, sausage, bacon, without the roasted garlic version. And that is certainly true today. So we have our beautiful slab, and And just take a good look at that. That's going to be an awesome product. Going to be so good. So here we've got our honey and our roasted garlic together. We just took 2 heads of roasted garlic, or 2 heads of garlic. Well, we took several heads of garlic. You just cut the tops off of them. Put them upside down in a baking dish with a little bit of olive oil. Stick it in the oven at 350 for about half an hour until you can smell it, is how you know when roasted garlic is done. You will definitely smell it in your house, and it's amazing. Then you just can take it and kind of mush it all up and turn it into a paste, and it's a fabulous product. So we'll squeeze that out there. Rub this in a little bit. Okay, then here, this is a combination of ground juniper berries and black pepper, and then this is our salt and our cure. So if you just get one of the little coffee grinders, these are great for grinding up any of your whole berry spices, your whole clove spices. So these are juniper berries. You may have to go to a couple of grocery stores to find them. We found them at Fresh Market. Sprouts has them, and then any of your big spice stores or kitchen stores would probably have them as well. But we just ground them up in our handy dandy little coffee grinder. So that's what is here. And then our salt and our cure. So give that a little whirl. And then in it goes. Mush it around a little. And there is number 2. So we spent quite a bit of time in Texas over the course of my career. I spent quite a bit of time, and that's where Matt and I met. And so we do have a Southwest version of the bacon. So when we were there, we got a lot of some Southwest green chili, the Hatch chili powder, and so that's what we've used in this next one. And so the Southwest version has honey as well. And so this honey is from our friends, the Johnsons, over at Johnson's Bees and Supplies, Tinker Creek Honey House. Fabulous honey, fabulous folks. So we're so glad that we're all in Aiken and can take advantage of things like that. So the Southwest one, this is a smaller piece. This is a lot thinner. So we'll probably, once this gets all cured, smoked, we'll probably slice this kind of into chunks for cooking. Just because it's not quite as thick as you would want for most bacon. Okay, so we've got our honey. And then this is a combination of that ground Hatch green chili, some lime powder, coriander, cumin, and a little bit of chipotle. It's not going to be super hot, but it's certainly going to have that great Southwest flavor. Okay, and finally, our black pepper. So we're gonna coat this one pretty good in black pepper. There's not much else in this recipe other than sugar, salt, and the cure. Then after we cure all these for about 10 days, they'll get rinsed off. After we rinse it off, this is the one that we will coat again with the black pepper. But you just want to make sure that you're getting all that extra cure and salt and everything removed before you throw it on the grill. Otherwise, you can have a lot of homemade bacon turns out really salty. And that's another benefit of the curing salt, is you can use a lot less regular salt to cure a meat product when you add in a little bit of the sodium nitrates, the curing salt. This one is a lot drier because we didn't put any of our wet ingredients in it, but within a day or so, they're all going to have a liquid that's starting to build up as that moisture is drawn out. We're going to go back because, of course, I forgot the salt and the cure in the Southwest. We'll just toss that in there. So we've got our Southwest, our pepper, our amazing roasted garlic, and our classic bacon. We'll put all 4 recipes up for you. This is going to go in the refrigerator. You want to stick this in a container in case the bags leak, because there will be quite a bit of liquid. Flip them over about every 12 hours. Whenever you're checking on your sourdough starters, you can also flip your bacon. And then in about 10 days, we'll pull it out, we'll rinse it off, we'll let it sit overnight in the refrigerator so it gets that nice coating on the outside, uncovered, and then as soon as we are done, we will take it out and throw it on the Rectech at extremely low smoke settings, so about 180 degrees for several hours. And once we cure it and cook it up to about 150 degrees, it'll be ready to be sliced and eaten, and it will look, get the frost off. This is from the batch that we made last time. Amazing. It's got that beautiful color, and that's the color that you'll get if you use the cure. If you don't use that cure, it's going to look more like a traditional pork chop would. It's the cure that gives ham and bacon and other pork products that beautiful color. So thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed this. We will definitely bring you back and show you what this looks like in about 10 days when we throw it on the smoker. So thanks so much.